I think that sometimes there's a need to look at the world around us and ask questions. I don't know. I don't subscribe to any specific religion or institution surrounding faith or spirit because I don't believe that spirit can be institutionalized. But I do think that spirit can be pondered and spirit can be theorized. And I think that these are good things. I think that asking questions is a good thing, and interpreting is a good thing. I've noticed a lot of synchronicities in my education, in the schooling that I'm doing right now, and the overall path of my life. And I've realized that the more open I've been to asking questions and to believing that there is something that is happening in my life that I am not fully aware of, but that I can become aware of, has led me to a place where now I am really, truly beginning to see signs and symbols in my everyday walking, waking life, 3D life. And that is because I have brought the energy of theory and projection and hypothesis and the desire to learn, the desire to know out of the upper dimensions into this one. And it's funny because I just got out of a class called Writings in the Elizabethan Age, and we're going through the Fairy Queen right now. And this course specifically is talking about Christian humanism and Christian mythology and pagan mythology, and how my professor, after I asked a question, which I've only done one other time in the class, after I asked this question about whether the way that they taught stories like the Fairy Queen in schools was as a truth or as just a Christian expression. And first he said that this was not the type of story they would teach in school, which is interesting because I understand. Well, actually not so obviously, because I guess you always associate, or I've associated the past with Christianity because of how dominant of a presence it has. But I forget that even Christianity, as most things that we deem to be upsetting or bad, sometimes they're actually born out of positive revolutions. And so he was saying that, and then he was saying, though, that what's been lost in present day Christianity is, and a lot of Christian practices and by Christians, is this idea of the allegory and interpretation and the fictionalizing and just understanding a lot of these parables and the stories in the Bible as stories that are meant to be interpreted rather than like explicit truths. And he was saying that Christianity actually was born out of this desire to go up against the Jewish way of understanding the scriptures and the sacred texts as literal historical facts. And he was mentioning St. Paul, I think, as one of the leaders in this movement towards understanding the sacred text as spiritual, meaning internal, meaning something to be interpreted and processed by you, and not something that is just blanket statement, the truth across the board means the same thing to everyone. There's not a way of putting spirit or these sacred stories into a box, because ultimately they are born out of each individual's perception. And so there are many ways of understanding many meanings, just as God is plentiful and abundant in expression. So that's the movement, and that's crazy because I really enjoy that way of understanding history though I've deemed myself to take things very literally this past year. I've kind of seen myself as being a very literal person when it comes to the delusions that I live within or the things that I believe that they're not showing up in real life, but I still believe in them. Sometimes I take things very literally, but I'm realizing, I don't know exactly where that goes, I've thought too much about it, but I'm realizing that the ability to interpret and to dream and process those dreams and understand their meanings beyond like your actual dreams, but just the desires and the fantasies that you have for life and the daydreams that you have around certain circumstances are very important in terms of being able to actually understand your place in life. Subway? Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I'll look it up. I'll Google it. I don't know which way it is exactly, but let me see.